So I'm going to make a bold claim. It's easy to attract a girl, right? Super easy. But keeping her attracted and also loyal, that requires a completely different skill set. And unfortunately, most modern men have never ever been taught what it takes to keep a woman deeply attracted long term. Why? Because it's so common for us men to focus on increasing the fucking numbers on our bank account, getting shredded, right? Or trying to act alpha, right? To attract a woman. But none of these things actually matter to keep a woman attracted long term. Because if money, looks, status would matter, then like ask yourself, why is Will Smith getting humiliated on live TV? Why has Johnny Depp been dragged to court? And why did Kaká get divorced and Logan Paul is getting disrespected on live TV as well? So are you fucked? No, man. So in this video, man, I'm going to share with you the one thing that everyone deeply, deeply craves, but never really says out loud. That might sound like she's hiding it, yeah, but actually in reality, man, she's not even consciously aware of it herself. And by the way, I'm going to teach you how to develop the skill super fast. So why is this skill that I'm about to teach you today so powerful, and why does it like trump even fame and money? Because this is a deeply primal blueprint that is wired into her nervous system, right? So like you got to understand, like modern culture, like modern dating culture cannot trump deep primal desire, and that's what this skill is all about that I'm about to teach you today, because this will trigger her primal desire so that she will feel like so in love with you, bro. Like not because you manipulated her or but because you did some dark manipulation tactics. No, because you give her something that 99% of men cannot do nowadays. You gotta understand, man, like on a biological primal level, her body is asking one simple question. If shit hits the fan emotionally, can this man handle it? Or will he collapse like a Kevin? Will he fall apart? That's it. That's what every woman asks herself deep down in a long-term relationship. That one question is the make or break question for long-term attraction, man. If she feels like, yeah, this man is a Hercules, he can make me feel safe, she relaxes. She will become feminine. And that is the ultimate state like every woman wants to be in. Now, if she, however, feels like, no, this guy cannot make me feel safe, her nervous system subconsciously starts shutting down. And if she notices you acting like a fucking 6-year-old boy for way too often, right? Like losing your shit, man, she's gonna walk away. She'll leave because she doesn't feel safe around you. Now, making her feel safe is only the result, right? It's not the skill. What actually makes her feel safe? It's something that I call stepping into your Hercules energy. So Hercules energy is the combination of your inner fire, right? And your ability to control that. And trust me, like all my clients before they joined my program, right? And the majority of modern men totally lack this fire nowadays and the ability to actually fucking regulate that. And it's the reason why so many guys get like completely blindsided by breakups and say like, but everything was fine. She never said anything. Like, yeah, because they misread the signs, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what it looks like when you lack a Hercules energy and how it sounds like, yeah? And after that, I'm going to give you the step-by-step, like the exact step-by-step method on how to embody that Hercules fire energy on a day-to-day or on a daily basis. So when I was with my ex Marie, right, who by the way, man, like, she was my absolute dream girl in terms of looks, right? I generally thought she was the one. I found the one, right? The one. Anyway, so when we met, like, I was doing all the right things, right? I was leading the interactions, I was pursuing her, I was planning dates, I was like truly myself, I was bantering, I was teasing her, I was flirting, like textbook, I'd call it charisma, right? Textbook Hercules energy. And obviously as a result, she was all over me, right? Asking me when we could see each other again and again, you know, and the way I presented myself, the way I conveyed myself initially, that was full Hercules energy, right? And she fucking loved it. Like every woman loves it. And everything was great until, well, guess what? The more time we spent together, the more I actually liked her. Obviously that's normal, but something inside of me, like something like started to shift, right? I felt this weird pressure in my chest, like when she didn't show me affection, you know, like when she didn't hold my hand, for example, right? Or when she pulled her hand away when I was holding it. Like, and I found myself constantly checking like my fucking phone, like a fucking addict, right? Like, has she responded? Or why did she leave me on red right now? Why is she not responding within 30 minutes or something, right? And she was literally living in my head 24/7. And it was really bad, man. Like, I'll never forget, man, that one night when I was in Dubai and she was in London, right? So I was living in London at the time. I went to Dubai and I couldn't sleep because she didn't text me good night. Like, my brain went straight to like, shit, she's breaking up with me. She doesn't love me anymore. She might be cheating, right? So I texted her with like message after message the next morning, like, hey, are you alright? Is everything okay, right? And did I do something wrong? Shit, bro, it sounds insane looking back. At that time, I thought I was like displaying like that I loved and I cared for her and I was like worried, right? But the intensity and frequency of text messages like conveyed like something different, bro. Like actually worse. And I'm glad I can laugh about it now. Like what it communicated was that this guy cannot fucking keep it together, right? Like all the other men that I've dated, when feelings get involved, he cannot regulate himself. And his entire mood is anchored to me. And that doesn't feel like leadership to her anymore, right? It feels like this little child like clinging to her leg. Please don't leave me. Like when she met me, she signed up for like the CEO Hercules energy, right? Like imagine you have the captain of the football team, like that only performs at games that don't fucking matter. Like Tom Brady, Messi, Ronaldo, like Michael Jordan, like are GOATs because they performed when everyone else fucking choked, right? Ask yourself, like, would you trust a leader or a captain of a team if he constantly loses shit? No. So why the fuck should she trust you with something more important than just winning a game? Like actually her fucking heart and her life. You cannot keep your shit together. You really gotta ask yourself, man, like, are your actions, like when you were like chase a girl, like are those actions out of inspiration or desperation? For me, it was pure desperation. I had become hyper vigilant, like all my actions, like calling her more often, texting her more often, trying to fix things that didn't need to be fixed. It was all that like out of fear because I was so desperate to not lose her. I was looking for constant reassurance, like her constant approval. And I totally like outsourced my emotional center to her action. And when I didn't get what I wanted, I did the typical, most Kevin and most stupid thing you can do as a man. I swung to the other extreme, right? I went full Red Pill robot mode and started like leaving her on red, ignoring her messages just to prove I did not care. Bro, obviously I care, right? A lot. And she knew that. She had all the leverage because I had given her all the leverage. And her nervous system immediately read this as a threat to her safety because every action of mine was coming from a place of desperation, as I call it, not inspiration. So I behaved like this 6-year-old boy who could not control his emotions, who cannot regulate himself, and wasn't a man. I did not behave like a 20-year-old man. That's how old I was at that time. Now, before I share with you how we fixed this, I want to explain why I was so fucked in the head, by the way, yeah? Like, I'm doing this because I know a lot of you men are scared to open up about this, but like every single client of mine loves this bit about me because it felt like, shit, man, this guy gets me. So the reason why I was so like anxiously attached around women, right, especially women that I loved, was because of my childhood, right? So I grew up without a father, and I didn't have a masculine presence, sort of, or masculine role model around me, teaching me how to regulate my fucking emotions, right? And because my mom gave me up for adoption, my grandma raised me. So, and she did what every fucking grandma does, right? She wrapped me in this bubble wrap. I had literally zero emotional resilience because my grandma constantly protected me from like any sense of danger. Like, don't hurt yourself, don't get dirty, don't play in the mud, right? Oh, you poor little boy, right? That's what grandmas do, and it's fine, right? But there was no like contrast to it. So I had never learned how to sit with my emotions, how to sit with discomfort, how to stay like centered and grounded, you know, and how to lead myself like out of emotional discomfort. And then obviously I had this fear of abandonment because my fucking mom gave me up for adoption, which I found out when I was 16 at peak puberty. I mean, guess what that does to you, right? That completely wrecked me. And that shit, bro, that stays with you until you fucking deal with it. Fun fact, like this shit doesn't really come up when you're dating, right? But it only comes out when you're like deeply, deeply in love with a woman. So for example, for me, like every time Marie or Julia or Sarah even, like every time they pulled back, for example, and those were women that I all loved, or they didn't text me goodnight, they didn't reach for my hand, you know, like my entire fucking nervous system where all this shit that you experience is stored, it communicated to me like, shit, we're being abandoned again, we're in danger, right? And that's why I then like pushed harder because I wanted to get reassurance that I'm not going to get abandoned again. And because of this strong emotions that I felt, I didn't like only feel the emotion, I became this fucking emotion. I completely abandoned my Hercules energy in that moment. Now the big question is, how did I actually learn to develop this Hercules energy, to let go of that shit, you know, that made me lose my Hercules energy in the first place, right? And actually become the guy that like any woman like truly loves without losing myself? Well, first, you don't do it by fucking running away from your pain and like all the fucking demons, right? Like in my early 20s, I was blackout drunk every weekend. Yeah, like during my finance days, I, on top of getting drunk every time, I also added 2 grams of snow, you know, every weekend. And I had so many fucking near-death experiences, car crash, falling down like a couple of stairs, you know, lost my front teeth when falling down the stairs drunk as a bartender, you know. I slept with like several hundreds of women. Like none of that shit helped me to actually develop true Hercules energy, you know, because I was running away from the pain. What actually helped me was integrating what I call nowadays my red masculine energy. And when you integrate that red masculine energy I'm about to teach you, man, like you become so attractive to any woman, honestly. And when you not only integrate it, but also keep it alive, bro, that is the one thing, the one skill, the one trait, bro, that women love so much. And they will, this red masculine energy fundamentally, the safety mechanism for keeping a long-term relationship alive. Why? Because again, it works on a primal level. Yeah, it triggers her primal feminine energy, like the energy that most women nowadays have blocked. But they tap into it when they are with the right guy. Sandra, Telina, Lena, they were all boss babes, investment bankers, consultants, right? They were feminine around me, even though they were masculine at work, right? So obviously, what does this red masculine energy like stand for? It stands for like being emotionally regulated, being assertive, and also integrating your wild masculine energy. So my biggest problem was that for like 22 years of my fucking life, I've suppressed this red masculine energy, especially the wild part of it, right? Because I was ashamed of being a man because I had been conditioned to feel bad about being masculine. But the desire of being a man, of wanting to become that man, it never went away. So that flame stayed forever with me, and it will stay with you forever. And if you do not fucking integrate it or unblock it, man, you will always feel like something's off, you know? And your woman will feel it too, especially because like every woman dreams of that fucking wild man inside of you. Like she wants to be connected to that like masculine primal side of yours, bro. And for me, what was literally a game changer, and that's how I integrated this red masculine energy, was like fundamentally a combination of introspection and then relentless obsessive action. So in terms of introspection, I want you to start with these 3 questions right now and like honestly write them down. Like, where in your life are you pretending to be nicer or softer or calmer than you actually are? What emotions do you avoid because you're scared they will make you look too weak or look too much, right? And bro, what would you say or do differently if you stopped fucking filtering yourself for like women you love, friends, fucking family, or society, bro? Trust me, when you answer these questions, like honestly, you will realize how much fucking you've lived in a state of fear and suppression, man. And these 3 questions, man, they will get you to confront the exact places where you fucking caged your Hercules energy, man. Now, step 2 is to let go of that dark side, like that wild energy inside of you, like through control expression. So what I love to do is to scream in the forest, like really primal. Yeah? I grunt a lot at the gym. I don't hold that shit back, because you have to understand emotion is energy in motion. And if you do not release it, yeah, like in the moment or like later on, it will find a way to express itself, right? Also, like on a day-to-day basis is super important. I ask my clients this every fucking week, like to express your unfiltered thoughts and opinions, right? In times of fucking cancel culture that shames you for having a fucking opinion, it's important to prove to yourself that you are like not an obedient little bitch. So instead of holding back, state what you really think. Say no when you want to say no, and like obviously like stay respectful. You don't have to shout at anyone or be dismissive. You can that can sound literally like, hey, sounds amazing, but what worked for me right now, all right? That is going to rewire your fucking nervous system. Prove to yourself that you are okay with integrating this red masculine energy. And that leads me also to like the next step number 3, which is fundamentally to get in control of the expression of your emotions, right? The optimal way is to reduce the stress, right? And the pressure on the area of your body that gets triggered, right? That triggers those anxious thoughts, etc. That is fundamentally your nervous system. So what I love to do is, and I do this every fucking morning, 4-7-8 breathing, right? So fundamentally you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and then exhale for 8 seconds, and you do that for 10 minutes. It's a game changer. It regulates the nervous system. When you calm down your nervous system, it's going to stop sending those catastrophizing thoughts. So the next step is now obviously to create like a new identity that channels your Hercules energy like on a day-to-day basis. So because your girlfriend, believe it or not, and also your life will test you. And it's important that you develop this like new identity instead of just fucking learning like a few tips and tricks and not making it a habit, right? Because when you make your Hercules like energy, like your identity, everything will become intuitive. So how do you do that? You build a vision of the man you never want to fucking be ever again. And it's like, ask yourself, like, what would Hercules do right now? How would I show up if I were Hercules? And go deeper, like, what is actually the life you've always wanted to live? Because most of the things that you've always dreamed of doing, you suppressed out of fear, because society told you to fucking suppress it, or because whatever fucking reason. Like, what is the man you actually always wanted to become, man? I ask myself this question like every month, because it allows me to realize, bro, like, I've been slacking in this one area of my life, and I have one life, bro. Why would I fucking not live fullest, bro? And this is one of the reasons why I'm so fucking attractive to women, why I actually like don't have any issues keeping women attracted. Because I carry this fire inside of me, man. I don't have to be loud about it. I have a grounded presence about it. And women naturally feel safe around me immediately because they can feel that fire that is contained. And it also conveys one more thing. It conveys that I have this wild lion in energy inside of me, right? Because every woman deep down, it's one of her deepest fantasies, wants to be with this wild lion, like forever. But the wild lion who has the discipline to not abuse this wildness and this power that he has. And when you become that man, like when you have that calm, like composed intensity about you, when you become that Hercules, women respond to you differently and they will never stop loving you, man. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of more mistakes a lot of men make in their relationships. And if you want to avoid them, I suggest you watch this next video.